Alright, this is part 2. Yeah, man, by the time I finish this video, it'll be like 6 o'clock. And by the time I'm done, it'll be like 6, 7:38. So yeah, I should be able to do a second video today. I can do a nice 1 hour video after this. It just depends what time it is, man. I don't know. It just depends what time it is. I have to work on my book today with my youngest brother again. And I have to work on my book again today. And yeah. I am pushing the halfway point of my book. Around 250, 260 pages, I'll be halfway through my book. Going over my entire book. I'm almost done, guys. Halfway through it. It's a lot of work, man. Yeah, man. I thought of cutting out Fuful in the movie and just focus on Aratat for the story. But no, Fuful's a big part of the plot, hence why I don't want to cut him out, obviously. But Peter Jackson will tell me, Ivan, we can cut out Fuful if you want. Just focus on Takis fighting Aratat. But no, Fuful is the Prince of the South. He's a major part of the plot, but Aratat is ultimately the main antagonist. He's the main villain of the story. But Fuful is also a big part to play in the story, too. He's born the same way as Takis, hence why I'm not cutting out Fuful. But in the war, Takis takes on both Fuful and Aratat. You're gonna see me fighting both the demon wolves, obviously, because Takis is that powerful. I don't want to spoil the story for you. You see what I'm saying? Fuful, I'm gonna tell Hugh Jackman, no, Ivan, do not cut out Fuful. He's a big part of the plot. Yeah, he's Aratat's son. You can't cut him out actually because Fuful is in a lot of scenes. The scene when Tax Tony's and all them fights the 25 wolves, Fuful's in that scene. Yeah, he's a big part of the plot. He's a prince of the South. You see what I'm saying? But Peter Jackson might tell me, Peter Jackson might recommend I cut out, like, I don't know, maybe the characters of Mel and Lau. Ivan, we can cut out these characters. We don't need these characters. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to cut out any of my characters in my movie, man. I want to include all the characters. I don't want to cut out all these characters in my movie. You see what I'm saying? In my book. I wrote my own book. This is a kind of story. If you change too much, if you tamper with the story too much, you change a lot of things, you can mess up the story. That's why I'm going to be very, very strict with Peter Jackson, Mel Gibson. I don't want us changing a bunch of things in the story. Let's follow the book. There's nothing wrong with adding dialogue and adding some more details to the scenes to make it more interesting. But we need to follow a good like 75% of the story, guys. 80%, 75% of the story we need to follow. We can change a good 20% of the story to make it more interesting, obviously. But we need to follow the story, follow the book. That way you get an amazing movie. And hence why yesterday when I watched Fellowship of the Ring, I'm like, man, it's going to be tough for Zaynus to top this. Yeah, Zaynus will top Lord of the Rings, guaranteed, because I'm acting in it. But it'll be very, very close, as Lord of the Rings is a fucking masterpiece, guys. I saw the movie earlier today. You know what I'm saying? I watched the whole special edition of Lord of the Rings, obviously, like 4 hours. 3 hours and like 50 minutes, obviously. It was fucking long. And I'm like, holy shit, this movie is amazing. This is a masterpiece. Yeah, man, it's a fucking masterpiece, Lord of the Rings. You see what I'm saying? It's a masterpiece. Trust me, Lord of the Rings will be very, very close to Zaynus. They'll be very, very close. There's some people who might even like Lord of the Rings better. I like Lord of the Rings better. I highly doubt, though, because I'm acting in the movie, man. Because I'm acting in the movie, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm acting in the movie, and Zaynus is $980 million, unheard of technology, better than Avatar. The wolves and all of them are devils. I remember that scene when Frodo was like, put it out, you fools. And I'm saying, well, that's nice. You know what I'm saying? He's like, go! And then you get that song, hee-ha. You heard that? You saw the what? The ring weights marching? Yeah. Obviously. Well, think of beings 3 times scarier than those ring weights in Lord of the Rings. That's how scary the wolves and bats are. Yeah, you're looking at devils, man. Think of beings 3 times scarier than what you got for the ring race in Lord of the Rings and the boss orc in Lord of the Rings. The boss orc in Lord of the Rings was freaky, man. And the orcs were pretty freaky. And the ring weights were freaky. Well, think of beings 3 times scarier than that for Zaynus. You're looking at what? You're looking at what? You're looking at devil what? Devil beings. Yeah, man, you look at something scary. And that's why Peter Jackson, Mel Gibson, when they see the contours of Aratat, Fuful, Morale, and all them, and he feasts in the crows, he'd be like, holy shit, Ivan, we just shook the world. You're going to see Peter Jackson say that, Ivan, we just shook the world. You're going to see Peter Jackson saying that, Ivan, we just shook the world. You know what I'm saying? This movie's going to have crazy buzz. Ivan, this movie will have crazier buzz than even my Lord of the Rings movie and my Hobbit movies, yeah. Remember Lord of the Rings? All you guys who remember, I don't remember seeing the red carpet and all that stuff for Lord of the Rings. But all you guys who are my age, you guys all remember when Lord of the Rings came out in 2001, 2002, 2003. Remember how you got the crazy red carpet? Well, think something 3 times crazier than that for Zanus. You're looking at crazier fame. Remember The Hobbit? You got that crazy buzz for The Hobbit? You got the countdown. You saw all the billboards, all the crazy fans gathered around the red carpet. Well, think of something crazier than that for Zanus. Something crazy for the fame, man. Yeah, man. Zanus will have crazy buzz, man. Crazy buzz. And the actors in Lord of the Rings, my God, they killed it, man. They killed the role, man. They destroyed the role of what of Lord of the Rings, man. You know what I'm saying? Viggo Mortensen destroyed the role of Aragorn. Orlando Bloom destroyed the role of Legolas. John Rhys Davis, I think is his name. He destroyed the role of Gimli. You know what I'm saying? Elijah Wood destroyed the role of Frodo. Sean Astin destroyed the role of Sam. Billy Boyd destroyed the role of Pippin. You know what I'm saying? Dominic Monaghan destroyed the role of Merry. Yeah, man. Ian McKellen destroyed the role of Gandalf. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, who do you think was the best actor? I told you the best acting performance in the movie was Sean Astin. He was the what? He took the what? He stole the show of the movie. He was the best. Ask anyone. Yeah, Sean Astin was the best. Well, had the best performance. You know, yeah, Sean Astin had the best performance in Lord of the Rings. Second, I'd probably say Ian McKellen. He killed the role, man, of Gandalf. He destroyed the role of Gandalf. All those actors destroyed the role, but in my opinion, Ian McKellen and Sean Astin are the two who really destroyed the role, man. They killed the role of the movie, obviously. Ian McKellen destroyed the role of Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, man. Remember that scene when he's like a Balrog, a demon of the ancient world. This is beyond our skill or something like that. Run! And you see Legolas. He's all scared. He's like, "What devilry?" You see Sean Ben. He's like, "What devilry is this?" You know what I'm saying? And he's like, "That's a Balrog, a demon." You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, think of something 3 times scarier than that for Ephesus. You're looking at demons. Yeah, man. That's why Zanes will beat out Lord of the Rings, man. Because I'm picturing the scenes in my mind. Think of a huge battle with you have Tactius, you have Cassius, you have Tacitonius, you have Papyri, you have Eli, you have Job, you have Sirius, and you have Cornelius' 700 blacksmiths fighting all hundreds of demonic bats, 3 times scarier than the orcs in Moria. Remember that scene when you got the drum, duh, duh, duh. You see the orcs are approaching. Well, think of something 3 times scarier than that for Zanus. You have a huge battle in the caverns with Tactius, his men, and all those people, and versus all. Yeah, Peter Jackson would tell me, "Oh, I read your book, man. If you turn this into a movie, looking at one of the best movie choices made, he won't tell me it'll be better than his Lord of the Rings movie because he has an ego." Peter Jackson has an ego. He obviously thinks Lord of the Rings is one of the best movie choices ever made. It is, in my opinion, it is. Peter Jackson has an ego. Hollywood people are very egotistical. They have an ego. He's not going to tell me that my movie will be better than his movie, obviously. But he'll tell me, your movie will be one of the best movies ever made. He'll tell me that. And Lord of the Rings, I'm going to make a prediction. Lord of the Rings and Zanus for the movie, Lord of the Rings and Zanus will be close. Whereas for the book, Zanus beats out Lord of the Rings. Because in my opinion, Lord of the Rings books are a bit boring, obviously. But for the movie, it'll be very close. So Zanus and Lord of the Rings will be close. But I think Zanus will take the edge. He'll take the edge. Yeah, even though Lord of the Rings was a masterpiece, Ivan Zane's movie was on another level, man. That was better than Lord of the Rings. Ivan destroyed the role of Tactius. These actors destroyed the role of the characters. Yeah. Ereteth the Devil Walking in itself, it's a much more interesting story than Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm saying? Because Lord of the Rings, the story, Ivan, what's the plot of Lord of the Rings is pretty much this. Frodo is tasked in destroying the ring in Mount Doom, obviously, and then Strider, Aragorn, and all of them fight the orcs. That's pretty much the story. That's the story of Lord of the Rings. That's the story of Lord of the Rings movies. Strider or Aragorn, right? Legolas, Gimli, Gandalf, they fight all the orcs. And the people of Rohan and Gondor, they fight all the orcs. They're at war with the forces of Sauron, pretty much. The army of Mordor and the army of Saruman. That's pretty much the story. And you have a side plot of Tactius of Aragon becoming king. He chooses the path of what of Isildur's heir, obviously, and becomes king. He takes the sword. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much the plot of Lord of the Rings. That's why Zanus will beat out Lord of the Rings. But it'll be very, very close. I'm not. Trust me, it'll be so close that some people, some Lord of the Rings fans might even like Lord of the Rings even better than Zanus. Even though I like Zanus, I like Lord of the Rings better. But I highly doubt it because I'm acting in the movie, man. Because I'm acting in the movie, Zanus will be better, man. Because I'm acting in the movie. Ivan Romero is acting in the fucking movie, man. And it makes it a better movie, you see what I'm saying here? Yeah, even though Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece, man, Ivan Zanus movie was sick, man. Ivan, it was so cool seeing Ivan in that movie, man. As Prince Tactius. VJ as Lithia. VJ's playing the role of Lithia. Yeah, man. You see what I'm saying? VJ playing the role of Lithia. Yeah, VJ's acting as Lithia, and so make the movie that much better. Remember Erwin in Return in Lord of the Rings? Well, think something like that for the role of Lithia. She has like this dress. She's the father of a powerful man. Eli, he's the leader of Saphius. Think something like that for Lithia. In Zanus, you're gonna see VJ wearing her nice clothes. You know, since she has her accent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then Tactius and Lithia are lovers in the movie. Obviously, they become lovers. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, man. Ivan, why you watching it? I don't know. I just feel like watching it. It's a masterpiece. And I can't wait to watch Two Towers. I'm going to watch Two Towers tonight. I'm going to watch Two Towers. And then afterwards, I'll finish the Obi-Wan series. I have 3 episodes left. I'll watch that. I want to watch the Batman movie that came out like 4 months ago. I might check out Uncharted. Obviously, I heard that movie was okay. Multiverse of Madness, I heard, had mixed reviews. I'll check that out. Obviously, I'm not gonna watch Return of the King because Return of the King makes me what? It always makes me almost tear up, and it's a depressing movie. It makes me very depressed and sad when I watch it for some reason. I don't know why. I think the reason why it makes me depressed is because the journey ends. The amazing journey of Lord of the Rings ends, man. That's why it really, really pisses me off. You see what I'm saying, huh? Yeah. Whereas even though Volume 3 for Zanus is the end, obviously, I ended off with a happy ending. With a happy ending, obviously. Whereas Lord of the Rings has a happy ending, but like it's a little bit depressing because everyone goes into their own path for their life. The hobbits are back in the Shire. Sam gets married, he gets kids. Frodo goes to the Undying Lands with Gandalf and all of them, with the elves. Aragorn is in Gondor. He's ruling with Arwen as king of Gondor, obviously. Legolas goes back to the woods to see to his father. Gimli goes back to the dwarves. You know what I'm saying? It's sad, and it really, really pisses me off, the ending. You know what I'm saying? I told you, when I watched Return of the King on theaters, I almost cried. When I watched, Ivan, what scene made you cry? When Sam said, I can't carry it for you, I can carry you, I almost cried tears on theaters when I saw that on theaters. It was sad, man. It was so sad. And that's why Return of the King really, really pisses me off. And you got that music when Frodo was weak, Sam was weak, you know what I'm saying? Because remember how in Fellowship of the Ring, Boromir talks about how there's poisonous fumes in the mountains. Yeah, the poisonous fumes made Sam and all of them very weak. And he's like, I can't carry it for you, I can carry you. And you have that music, you know what I'm saying? And I almost cried, man. And Sam, he talks about Rosie. I wanted to marry her and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I almost cried on theaters. I didn't cry, but I almost cried. It was sad, and it really, really pisses me off. And for some reason, when Aragorn took the path to being king, and Isildur's heir took the path of being king, it pissed me off. Oh man, I miss Aragorn the Ranger when he was with Gimli and Era. Now he's becoming king. You know what I'm saying? It really, really pissed me off, obviously. That's why Return of the King I like the least. And the wars were all rushed. The wars were not as good as the Helm's Deep battle. They were not as good as the Helm's Deep battle. Yeah, well, they were rushed wars. Peter Jackson knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, I know they were rushed. They were pretty good wars, but they were rushed. The Rohan War and the Pelennor Field battle was very, very rushed. The speech that Theoden gave was amazing, and the charge, that was amazing. That was epic. But the war was just horses running over the orcs for like 2 minutes, and the war ends. Whereas Helm's Deep is a long war. It's like a 15, 20-minute war. You see what I'm saying? It's a much better battle than what you got for fucking what? For fucking what? For fucking Return of the King. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why Xanax will be better than Lord of the Rings, man. Even though Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece, I'm picturing the movie in my mind. Trust me, Xanax will beat out Lord of the Rings. But it'll be very, very close. It'll be very, very close with Xanax and Lord of the Rings. Because I am acting in the movie and VJ's acting as my wife, obviously, VJ's acting as Lithia, the role of Lithia, obviously. The movie will be better, man. Trust me. It'll be better than Lord of the Rings. It'll be close, though. I'm not going to say Xanax will blow out Lord of the Rings. No, man. Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece. It's hard to top that. Xanax will be close to Lord of the Rings. It'll be fucking close. It'll be very, very close, man. It'll be close. But Xanax will take the edge. Because I'm acting in the movie, guys, and I'm pouring $90 $80 million towards Xanax, too. But bigger budget doesn't necessarily mean your movie will be better. Because The Hobbit was made for way more money than Lord of the Rings, and the movie was worse. But the only reason why The Hobbit was what? It had a lot of money. It was worse because Peter Jackson and Williams, they were not prepped, and what? And they relied heavily on full CGI. Obviously, whereas for Xanax, I'm not relying heavily on full CGI. I'm gonna mix it with my physical and practical effects. Build a big forest, a nice like 0.8 acre forest. You know what I'm saying? Build a nice 0.7 acre forest. Build a nice 1 point what? 1 acre, 0.5 acres for Cyrus, 2 acres for Xanax, 1.1 acre for the mountain of Gileas. That can fit 5,000 people. Yeah, something huge. That way you get unheard of quality for your movie. You get an amazing story. You see what I'm saying? Trust me, when you guys read my book, you'll see what I mean. Last of Xanax is a masterpiece, and it will beat out Lord of the Rings. It will beat out Lord of the Rings book, and it'll beat out Peter Jackson's movie. As Peter Jackson was going to work double harder for me than what he even did for Lord of the Rings, because Peter Jackson knows if he fucks up my movie, it's gonna what? If he fucks up my movie, he's gonna go down as a director who ruined Ivan's story. And Peter Jackson does not want to ruin my story, man, because he goes, hey, Ivan wrote a masterpiece. I don't want to ruin his fucking beloved book. Yeah, I wrote a masterpiece. I don't want you ruining my story. Hence why I want you doing the concert arts with me, and I want you co-writing it with me. That way you knew the ins and outs of the story for Lord of the Rings. You need to do the same thing for my movie. That way you get a good movie. The only difference between the Peter Jackson for my movie and the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings is Peter Jackson is much older. You'll tell he'll struggle a little bit with the work, obviously, because he's a lot older than he was in Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, he was only like 39, 38 years old when he started filming. When he started pre-production for Xanax. For Lord of the Rings, he was only like 38 years old, man, Peter Jackson. He was younger back then. Whereas now, he's what? He's like 66, 65. He's still pretty strong. He's still good. But he's what? But he's older. Obviously. He's older, obviously. That's why I'm going to tell Peter Jackson, guys, I highly recommend you work out. Work out a little bit. Like when you stay in your hotel, it doesn't hurt to go to the gym every morning. Take a nice jog on the treadmill for a good 20 minutes. Take a nice swim, and that way you exercise yourself. Go on the bike. Go on the bicycle. You know what I'm saying? And work out a little bit. That way you're in shape. You don't have to do weights around that. No, but it doesn't hurt to work out, guys. Guillermo Toro's a big dude. He's a big dude, obviously, and Peter Jackson's a pretty fat dude, too. And you can tell those guys don't work out. Whereas Mel Gibson, he works out. He's fit. Whereas Peter Jackson does not work out. You can tell he doesn't work out. I recommend it doesn't hurt to take a jog on the treadmill, Peter. That way you're in shape. Ivan, I'm good. Peter, you're not as young as you used to be, man. In Lord of the Rings, you were 7 years old when you started pre-production for Xanax, for Lord of the Rings. You were 37, 38 years old back then. You were now, what, 65? You're much older. You're almost 30 years older than you were for Lord of the Rings. This is, Peter, it's 30 years later. You're older. I recommend you work out. Guillermo del Toro, I recommend you work out too. Mel Gibson, I recommend you work out. He works out, Mel Gibson. He's fit. But Mel Gibson will be like 70 if I hire him. He needs to work out too. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm going to be very, very strict with Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson. Guys, I recommend you work out, man. Work out. You don't have to work out like every day. No, work out at least like twice a week. Do some exercise that way you're in shape for filming for the 9 months. I filmed The Hobbit. I filmed Lord of the Rings. I'm good. Peter, you were younger back then. When you filmed The Hobbit, you were only what? You were only like 50 years old. You see what I'm saying? 48, 50 years old. You're now pushing 65. You're older. You were 37 when you did Lord of the Rings. You're older now. I recommend you work out. Obviously. That way you're in shape for the 9 months of filming. So you're going to see Peter Jackson working hard, but he might struggle a little bit. You might see him struggling a little bit with the work. You see him a little bit fatigued. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a lot older than he was when he did Lord of the Rings. You see what I'm saying? He's a lot older than he was when he did Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson. You see what I'm saying? But he'll be fine. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, he'll be fine. 65, you're still pretty good. Obviously. Still pretty good. You're going to see Peter Jackson working hard, man. Or Mel Gibson working hard. Yeah, you're going to see them working hard. Holy shit, Peter Jackson's working his ass off for Ivan's movie. Yeah. Because I paid him his $85 million. Pay him a bit more. I can pay him 85. Pay him 10 mil bonus, 65 million salary start production, and a 10 mil bonus after. So I'll pay you two $10 million bonuses. I'll pay you $20 million worth of bonuses, Peter, and you get your $65 million salary at start production. That's a good deal for Peter Jackson. And you get your $2,000 gift card, your $300 gas card. You get taken on a 2-week vacation with your family. Only your immediate family you can bring. Don't bring like 20 members of your family. No. You can only bring your immediate family, Peter. Your wife or partner and your kids. That's it. I'll book a nice resort for Peter and Guillermo del Toro and his family. Guillermo del Toro can bring his family too, obviously. And the 17 can bring their families. Only their immediate families, obviously, and I'll book a nice resort for them to stay in for 2 weeks. And I'll have feeding services for them, and they get spoiled, obviously. If they want to buy beer and go to an event and parties, they have to pay with their own money. I'm not paying for you. You guys made your millions. You made a lot of money. You can easily afford to pay what for your family members for beer and all that stuff. You easily afford it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be very, very strict with Peter Jackson. I'm good, man. Don't worry about me. I'm like, Peter, you're not as young as you used to be, man. You're 60. I don't know. You're 65 now. 64, 65 now. You were 37 back then. There's a huge difference between a 37-year-old and a 64-year-old. You're older now. I recommend you work out. When you go back to New Zealand, if you have a gym at your house, work out your gym. Take a nice bike. Go biking with your daughter or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Do that. That way you get what? That way you get what? An amazing movie. You see what I'm saying here? You need to do that, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. And Peter Jackson will work hard for me because I paid him his millions. And I paid him his millions in free cash too. Free cash. In Hollywood, you're a dirty slave. You have to do it. Peter Jackson probably smashed a lot of people in the industry. A lot of people while he was filming the movie, man, because he made his what $180 million. Okay, Peter, if you want to make this money, you have to do it. You have to smash a lot of people. He probably have to smash a lot of to make his $180 million. He smashed a lot of people. Peter Jackson, don't hate me, Peter. He smashed a lot of people to make that money, man. Whereas Ivan paid me my free 100, I don't know, $7 million in yeah, I made $170 million and $7 million in free cash. Whereas Hollywood, I'm a dirty ass slave. Yeah, man, you're a dirty slave in Hollywood, man. That's how it works. There's no such thing as free money in Hollywood. You have to do it. Do the actors mind doing it? The actors don't mind. The actors obviously mind doing it, obviously. But I told you, if they want to make their money and be successful in the industry, they have to obey. They have to obey. If the people tell them to do it, they have to do it. They have to go into the trailer and do it while they're filming. You know what I'm saying? If you want to keep the money coming in, you have to constantly keep doing it. That's how it works. Even when you're married and you're in a relationship, you have to keep doing it. See what I'm saying? Huh? And see, actors sometimes can become a bit depressed on set when they film. Sometimes they might be a bit depressed when they film on set because they're constantly doing things. They're going into the pit, and and doing it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas for Ivan's movie, you don't have to do anything. You're free, man. Yeah, my company's 100% clean, man. No dirty stuff. Clean. As I'm not dirty, I'm all clean. I am a good man. I'm not evil like these other people. I am good. I am all for clean business. I'm not. That's why people just say, "Oh, Ivan, your company's 100% clean. Your company's so clean you don't even allow drugs on set." Yes, no coke allowed on set. If you want to keep an actor awake, don't give him coke. No, give him a coffee. Give him an energy drink. Give him sleeping pills to keep him awake. You can have him take sleeping pills if they want. I don't have. I'm not gonna do that. No drugs. But I'm gonna have my 17 make calls for energy drinks. Okay, make calls for energy drinks for the actors to keep them awake if they're tired, because the actors are gonna get very little sleep for during production. Every day they're gonna get on average a good like 5 hours, 4 hours of sleep every day. The actors. They go to bed around 12. They wake up around like 4 o'clock in the morning. They're only going to get like 4 hours of sleep. Hence why you need to give them. I'm going to have someone prepare the coffee every morning. Okay, every morning when the actors wake up, prepare coffee for the crewmen and the actors. The actors can have a nice coffee before they start work, and give them an energy drink to keep them energized. No drugs, no coke allowed on set. The moment you do that, you're now a dirty businessman. I'm not into dirt. I am into clean. I want my company to be 100% clean. There's nothing worse than having a dirty company. No, keep it clean. No drugs. Only what? If you want to keep an actor awake, give him an energy drink. Give him what? Give him an energy drink. Give him what? Give him a coffee. Give him or her a coffee to keep him awake. You give them a coffee, nice strong coffee, and a nice energy drink. They'll what? They will be awake, obviously, because the actor's going to be very tired when they wake up. That's why you need to give them an energy drink and give them a coffee. You know what I'm saying? And they have to wake up. The people have to put makeup on them. That's why they have to wake up around 4. And then everyone starts filming around, I don't know, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Everyone starts filming. 6:30 around there, everyone starts filming in the morning. Till like 9, film for 3 hours. And then after, at 9 o'clock, everyone eats their breakfast. And at 11 o'clock, everyone starts filming again until 4. Then 4 o'clock, everyone eats their dinner. And then everyone films at 6 to like 9 o'clock, everyone films. At 9 o'clock, everyone eats their dessert. Then we film for another like 2-3 more hours. 2 more hours, 1.5 hours till like 12. And at midnight, everyone goes to bed. That's gonna be the production schedule for my movie. You eat 3 times a day. You eat your breakfast, your dinner, and your dessert. Obviously. The only way they won't be mad if you do something like that is if you give them a buffet. I don't know. Are we gonna have lunch? No, your dinner is your lunch, guys. You know what I'm saying? Hence why you give them a buffet. That way they don't get angry. If you give them a buffet, they won't be angry if you do some of that. Okay, Ivan gave us a buffet for breakfast. All you can eat buffet for breakfast. All you can eat. He gave us 2 hours off. All we have to do is wait. Well, we only have to wait a good like 5 hours for dinner, which is not bad. 5 hours for wait is not that bad. 11 to 12, 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Wait 5 hours, and at 4 o'clock, everyone eats their dinner. All you can eat dinner. Obviously, till 6, and they only have to wait 3 hours, and at 9 o'clock, everyone eats their dessert at nighttime. Everyone eats their dessert at nighttime. Everyone eats their nice dessert, because they're going to be hungry around 9, hence why give them a nice dessert, that way they're fed. Well, all you can eat dessert. All you can eat apple pie, blueberry pie, apple crisp, strawberry pie, you know what I'm saying, cheesecake, chocolate cake, white cake. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you give them like ice cream, like 8 options of ice cream, and you have a nice, everyone's fed well. And while they have dessert, you can even have drinks. They can also have drinks too. You can have the soft drinks. They can have soft drinks and coffee and all that stuff too if they want. Spoiling them, hence the crewmen won't be mad, and the actors won't be mad because they're getting fed well. I'm giving them an all-you-can-eat buffet for 3 times a day, and so they're fed well. The only way they won't be mad if you do something like that, whereby you have breakfast and you skip to dinner, they don't have their lunches. If you give them a buffet, if you give them a buffet, the crewman will be mad. I don't mind waiting 5 hours, Ivan. You're giving us a buffet. I'm giving you an all-you-can-eat buffet. And so it makes up for the lunch, right? There's no point of having breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No. Just have breakfast, and their dinner is pretty much their lunch, obviously. And then they have dessert. It's easy. It's better that way. There's no point of having breakfast, lunch, dinner. No. Have breakfast and dinner. Their dinner is their lunch. All you have to do, guys, is wait 5 hours. The 5 hours are going to go by very fast. and everyone eats their nice dinner, and it's all you can eat. All you can eat, dinner. You see what I'm saying? And if you do that, the directors, actors, and crewmen will work harder for you, and you pay them a lot of money. You need to pay these guys a lot of money. That way they what? That way they work hard for you. You pay Peter Jackson his $107 million in New Zealand money, and Mel Gibson his $56 million. Guillermo del Toro has $1.4 million, $1.65 million, which is a lot of money for an assistant director. They'll all work hard for you because they're getting a nice check every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Guillermo del Toro is a pretty big director, but I'm not going to pay him like $10 million for assistant director. If I pay him that, he's ripped me off. As assistant directors are not the main directors; they're assistant directors. So because he's pretty big, pay him or his salary. But I'm not gonna. If you think I'm gonna pay you like $5-7 million, you're crazy. You're affecting my budget. $1.6 million is good enough for Guillermo del Toro. You get your $400,000 bonus for pre-production, and you get your what? $1 million salary at start production, and you get your $250,000 check after filming complete. That's a good paycheck for assistant director. He'll set my that's a deal. That's a good deal. In Hollywood, they'll probably only pay me like $500,000 as assistant director. Yeah, in Hollywood, the assistant directors make like $200K, $300K in Hollywood. I'm paying you $1.65 million. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying you a lot of money, man. Yeah. I'm paying you a lot of fucking money. And he'll accept my deal, obviously. And they'll all work hard for me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't wait to watch Two Towers again today. Watch more Lord of the Rings today. I'm excited to watch Two Towers tonight. I'm gonna watch it tonight. Watch Two Towers. When I watch Two Towers, it builds excitement for my Zanus movie. Oh my god, Zanus is gonna be a sick movie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Zanus is gonna be an amazing movie. Yeah, man. Zanus is gonna be a sick movie. You know what I'm saying? Zanus is gonna be a sick movie. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's gonna be an amazing movie. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson competing for that job hard. And you're gonna see what? You're gonna see how hard Mel Gibson or Peter Jackson are gonna work for my movie. They're gonna work very, very hard. Because I pay them a lot of money, man. And they don't want to fuck up my story. You see what I'm saying? They don't trust me. Because Peter Jackson has a reputation. Peter Jackson has a reputation of being one of the best directors in Hollywood, obviously. He doesn't want to fuck up his reputation. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's gonna really, really work hard, obviously. He knows if he slacks off and he wings it, and the movie's terrible, he knows all the fans are gonna hate on Peter Jackson. Hey, Peter, you ruined Ivan's movie. Ivan should have directed the movie himself, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, so shut my camera here.